You could say that Nissan knows a thing or two about building electric vehicles. After all, they've been doing that for over a decade. Their first vehicle, the Nissan Leaf, was revolutionary in its time and at one point was the best-selling electric vehicle in the world. Well, now with their second electric vehicle, this crossover, the Nissan Ariya, they're really showing what they can do. Packed with advanced features and cutting-edge technology, the Ariya represents a significant improvement over the Leaf and a compelling option for anyone looking to go electric with the brand. Because electric vehicles don't require a lot of airflow to cool a radiator and an engine that has fire burning inside of it, they don't need a massive grille opening in the front of the vehicle. That allows manufacturers a lot of freedom and flexibility when it comes to styling and design to make the front end look attractive, but also be very functional and aerodynamically efficient. What Nissan has done on their front grille area here is this is a solid piece of clear plastic over top black, but I hope you can see this patterned design. This is something that they have incorporated into the interior as well, and it's meant to mimic the design of a Japanese paper lantern. They also have these LED lights that are daytime running lights that run all the way across here. But something that's really important to point out, this slit here, this is not just for looks. This is active aerodynamics, that air comes across the front, slides into here, and then is pushed out over the wheel for better aerodynamics, more efficiency. The Ariya's shoulder line is mostly flat from front to rear, where it intersects with the sloping roofline. It has a sporty but not aggressive look to it that grows on you the more you look at it. The Ariya's design is authentic and refreshing. It's not trying to be something that it isn't, and its unique design elements complement the SUV's styling while still setting it apart from other types of vehicles, electric or otherwise. Nissan says the Ariya's styling represents a timeless Japanese futurism, which is characterized by a distinctive approach conveyed in a simple yet powerfully modern way. The Ariya's interior features a minimalist design with high-quality materials and finishes throughout. The spacious cabin offers ample legroom and headroom for both front and rear passengers, making it a comfortable ride for longer journeys. The layout of the cabin is intuitive and user-friendly, with controls that are easy to use and within easy reach. I appreciate that there are physical buttons to control various vehicle features, including HVAC controls and radio volume. These are backlit and use capacitive touch with haptic feedback for a realistic feel. However, for the people that prefer to have their controls on the touch screen in the center of the car, the Nissan Ariya has that as well. One of my favorite things to do on a nice sunny day like this is open the car up, let the air flow through it. Nissan has done something pretty special with the Ariya. At least with this trim, you have a moonroof. Most EVs with a full glass roof don't have the ability to open it up, but the Ariya does. I really, really like that. A unique and somewhat interesting feature of the Ariya's interior is a sliding center console, which can be moved forward and back to adjust to the preference of the passengers. Additionally, located at the center of the dashboard, there is a second, what I'm calling a hidden glove box, and that's a storage compartment in the center of the vehicle under the screen that opens up and doubles as a tray table. These thoughtful design touches add to the overall functionality and convenience of the Ariya's interior. The Japanese lantern pattern we saw on the front grille is seen again inside the Ariya at the foot of the dashboard in the center of the vehicle and is backlit at night. The Ariya's rear cargo room is spacious and practical with plenty of room for luggage or groceries. The rear seats fold down easily, providing even more room for larger items. There's also a hidden compartment beneath the cargo floor, providing additional storage space. Unfortunately, due to the placement of the vehicle's drive components, there is no front trunk in the Ariya. However, the vehicle's cargo room everywhere else is well designed and spacious, making it a practical choice for those who have a need to carry a lot of cargo with them. What I found sets the Nissan Ariya apart from most of the competition is its cutting-edge technology. Even on the lower entry-level trims, the Ariya is packed with tech features that make it a truly remarkable vehicle. The Empower Plus trim that I tested was well equipped with many features that made driving easier, safer, and more comfortable. The center rear view mirror can be adjusted to display a digital video feed from a rear-facing camera located at the top of the rear window, and I imagine that this would be especially nice if you have people or cargo blocking rear visibility. And I actually preferred the video displays, and I left it like that at all times while I was testing the Ariya. I quickly adapted to using the head-up display and found it to be one of the most useful features that, before testing the Ariya, I really wasn't expecting. Speed, navigational instructions, and especially alerts about the ProPilot system were visible directly on the windshield, and I found it easy to read even in full daylight, and this allowed me to keep my eyes on the road without missing important information. And speaking of ProPilot, I found that the driver assistance system has advanced significantly over the past few years. In 2020, I had my first test of ProPilot in a Nissan Leaf, and I wasn't very impressed. So coming up on an area where this lane that I'm currently in ends. So we'll see what the ProPilot wants to do. Yeah, so it disengaged to let me take over because it didn't know what to do. Everything has improved over the last 3 years. The system holds the lane well with minimal adjustments, automatically slows down for sharp corners, and even has a hands-free mode with automatic lane changing when you hit the turn signal. I experimented with Nissan's ProPilot Park Assist feature, which, after positioning the Ariya in front of an open parking space, parked the SUV without any input or intervention at all. All right, so I'm going to try the auto park feature. I'm going to click that, and I'm going to pull forward, identify the open parking space over here. Yep. And start. Let off the brake. Now it's going to do everything. That's pretty cool. Compared to auto park systems in other vehicles, I found that the Ariya handled this task exceptionally. The ProPilot Park Assist can be used to park in both parallel and perpendicular parking spaces. While I appreciated the 360-degree view, which Nissan calls the Digital Intelligent Around View Monitor, I found it more fun than useful, or at least my daughter did anyway. Other features, some that vary by trim level, are on the base Venture trim level, Nissan's Safety Shield 360. Then moving up to the Engage trim, that's where they add the heated front and rear seats along with a heated steering wheel. Moving up to the Evolve trim, you get wireless phone charging, which is located underneath the armrest in the center console. Then the Empower Plus trim, which is what I was testing, that's where you get the better autonomous features. And then moving up to the very top Platinum trim, you get a motion-activated liftgate, cooled front seats, and a Bose audio system with 10 speakers. The Platinum trim also only comes with Nissan's e-Force dual-motor all-wheel drive system. The Ariya also includes Amazon's Assistant, we'll call it that, because I know just saying the name will set the devices off, so I'll save you guys that. Also, Apple CarPlay, wirelessly, Android Auto, but it has to be wired. And the Ariya is actually the very first Nissan model to offer over-the-air updates for some of its software features. The Ariya's electric powertrain provides a smooth and quiet driving experience with plenty of torque for relatively quick acceleration compared to gas-powered vehicles. The low center of gravity and front-wheel drive system provide excellent handling and stability on the road and encourage driver confidence. As tested, the front-wheel drive Ariya had a maximum power output of 238 horsepower and 221 pound-feet of torque, allowing for moderately reasonable acceleration and passing maneuvers. For my performance testing, the Ariya was able to go from 0 to 60 in 8.36 seconds and complete the quarter mile in around 16.28 seconds at 87.76 miles an hour. And while these numbers might seem modest compared to other electric vehicles, especially those that are more performance-oriented, the Ariya is conservative with its power and it's designed to be well-rounded rather than for raw speed. During the hot lap testing, I was disappointed to find that the Ariya's power output was reduced after only 2 short laps due to an electric vehicle system overheating. This was indicated by a warning message displayed on the dashboard which read, "EV system hot, power reduced, drive slowly." This is way more fun with the traction control off. Much more capable from a performance aspect. I'm really... This is fun. EV system hot, power reduced, drive slowly. Okay, well obviously Nissan doesn't like that. Oh, it's got reduced power. Come on. Oh my goodness. Reduced power. Holy crap. This car is not made for this at all. Sure, the Ariya is not a performance vehicle, but it would be nice if maybe Nissan wasn't so conservative with the tuning. I found that I really wanted more. The official EV Resource hot lap time came in at a slower 1 minute 58 seconds, putting the Ariya in line with the 2016 Chevy Spark EV on stock tires. That being said, it was a lot of fun to drive, and most people would probably be perfectly happy with the way it is. Not everybody is a speed demon like I am. Overall, the Ariya's performance is modest, returning a smooth driving experience, reasonable handling and stability, and adequate acceleration for most daily driving needs. That being said, those that want more performance should definitely look into the e-Force dual-motor all-wheel drive variants. I haven't tested one of those yet, but the performance numbers should be significantly better. The battery pack in the Ariya is a big one. It's 91 kilowatt hours with 87 kilowatt hours usable. And that would have an effect at lower speeds on efficiency due to its weight. During a 70 mile an hour highway range test, I was averaging 2.8 miles per kilowatt hour in efficiency, which isn't the greatest, but it also isn't the worst. So far in this review, I've been highlighting most of the features that I've liked and enjoyed about the Ariya. However, if I'm going to approach this in a completely unbiased way and retain my journalistic responsibility to you, I have to adjourn from my glowing praises and talk about charging. The Ariya comes equipped with a 7.2 kilowatt onboard AC charger for level 2 240 volt charging, and that can be used with any standard EVSE or with a wall-mounted 240 volt unit. But I couldn't use either for my tests because the Ariya charges at a fixed 30 amps at 240 volts. It's not something that is adjustable like other EVs. And that was a problem for my particular situation because I normally charge on a 30 amp dryer circuit using a max charge rate of 24 amps for safety reasons. So when I plugged the Ariya into charge, that plug became hot very quickly as the circuit was maxed out at 30 amps. That could have resulted in a very dangerous situation. So as it is, anybody who charges the Nissan Ariya at home, I would recommend they have a 50 amp 240 volt circuit available dedicated only to charge the car. And then the issue that I ran into wouldn't be an issue at all. So maybe it was just me in my particular situation, but I really would prefer that the Ariya came with the ability to reduce the charge current to be more flexible for situations like this. Additionally, there was very, very little information displayed on the car or the app about the charge rate, so I didn't actually find out about this until I happened to touch the cord and realize it was hot, and then I looked up the charge rate online. So it could have been a problem. When it comes to DC fast charging, which is something that people will do when they're out and about or on longer road trips, not typically, on a regular basis, The Ariya has a maximum charge rate of 130 kilowatts, and this is okay. It's not great, and it could be, and it really should be for an EV in 2023, higher. I would love to see a peak charge rate of at least 150 kilowatts, and then it would be much more competitive compared to other electric vehicles. But that being said, I did find that the charge curve was fairly healthy and consistent. Nissan says that the Ariya should take 40 minutes to get from 20% state of charge on the battery to 80% charge. In my experiences, the charging times were similar to their claims, but there are a ton of factors that can influence charging, especially when using a DC fast charger. Here, I found the Ariya to be okay, but not great. It certainly left plenty of room for improvement. So what does all that mean? Well, the Ariya is not a vehicle I would take on a road trip. The mediocre efficiency, combined with lackluster charging, would add a significant amount of time to any long-distance trip compared to other electric vehicles in its price range. But for most people, I don't think that would really matter at all. I believe that the Nissan Ariya is a great choice for people who want to charge at home overnight and then commute to and from work, and for local, let's even say regional use, and that's perfectly acceptable. One thing is for sure, the Ariya is a massive improvement over the Nissan Leaf. The Leaf, while revolutionary in its time, quickly aged and fell technologically behind compared to other available EV options. With the Ariya, Nissan ditched their attachment to the CHAdeMO charging plug, which was not widely adopted here in North America, and also made the very important choice to cool the battery with liquid cooling rather than to rely on passive air cooling. The entry-level price point for the Ariya can be found with the Engage trim, and it has an MSRP of $43,190. But I wouldn't expect that to sell very well because without all the technology of the upper trim levels, it just doesn't compare to other EVs at this price point. As tested, the Ariya in Empower Plus trim has an MSRP of $53,690, putting it right in the middle of the electric SUV segment. However, many of the other EVs at this similar price point are significantly lacking the tech that is included with the Ariya at this trim. The top of the line Platinum Plus has the greatest amount of technology. That trim starts at $60,190, and as I mentioned, also comes standard with Nissan's e-Force dual-motor all-wheel drive powertrain, and that puts out 389 horsepower and 442 pound-feet of torque. If I were pressed to choose an Ariya to buy and live with, I think that I would want the Empower Plus trim that I tested, but with the e-Force powertrain. There's just one problem though. Nissan doesn't make that configuration. To get all of the tech and features that I would want and have the power of the e-Force powertrain, my only option would be to go with the Platinum Plus trim level. Otherwise, I would ditch the ProPilot driver assistance feature suite and drop down a trim level to the Evolve Plus trim with e-Force. So to get everything that I'd want out of the Ariya, I think I'd go with the Platinum Plus trim. The Nissan Ariya is a great vehicle. It comes packed with many standard features and enough technology to make most people happy. It's one of the best Nissan vehicles I've ever driven, if not the best, and there is no question that it is a much better electric vehicle than its dying sibling, the Leaf. Nissan significantly improved their EV offering, but even with that improvement, it's just an okay electric vehicle. I didn't get the impression from Nissan that they put a lot of thought into all of the parts of the car that make it an EV. It charges slower than I'd like, it doesn't have enough flexibility when it comes to level 2 AC charging, and it really isn't as efficient as I'd want it to be. But you know what? I loved driving the Ariya, and I can't wait to get back behind the wheel of one again, and I suppose that is what really matters. We don't buy vehicles based on only what we need. We buy them based on what we want, and maybe most importantly, how they make us feel. And with the Ariya, it's sure to make you feel amazing. Before I end, I want to express my gratitude to Hart Nissan of Mechanicsville, Virginia, for providing me with the Nissan Ariya for testing and review. Their willingness to loan me the vehicle for an extended period of time allowed me to thoroughly test its features and capabilities, and I really hope that this comprehensive review is going to be helpful to those who are considering the Ariya as their next electric vehicle.
So then what I'm gonna do now is get a flying lap time. It's something I've never, ever done before. Just to see how much of a difference starting the lap from, you know, going, put your seatbelt on, is to just, you know, a standing start. Because a good lap time around here is like 1:30. Like in a car that has like a decent amount of power, like a Corvette or something, 1:30 or the Model 3 Performance on a flying lap is like really good. And my lap times have always been from a standing start, so there is no comparison between that. This will be the first time I've done like a flying lap, but let's see how it does. I hope the powertrain's cooled off so it's not going to limit power on us.
When do you want me to start the thing?
When we pass the flag booth here, the red thing.